with this diving for creativity into the heart, or retrieving, sinking, is understood, hopefully, in lieu of what we spoke about. But when it comes now to bringing something into very clear, let's say, where we want to funnel our energy, I would suggest you place your awareness, just as we did at some point in meditation, when I invite you to bring your awareness either at the heart or somewhere between the eyebrow center, from inside the skull.
There's a bit of fear and shame with this question. I have sometimes a hard time concentrating on intellectual content. And not only here in the darshans, but also back home, which makes me feel sometimes not able to rely on myself, but also sometimes unworthy, because I really want to listen and take in the content, but there's like this I don't know, sometimes so much tension, or kind of like a cloud moving into my head and just getting me out of the content. And I don't really have, I want to get to the root of where this is coming from, because like tonight I feel quite clear and I can focus, but there are a lot of moments where I cannot, and I would be, I thought maybe you can reflect something back on me where the root of that is.
Well, there could be various reasons. First, rule of the thumb, we don't want to pathologize something which simply could be a certain predisposition. Not everyone is cut for intellectual, so-called high sort of themed discourses. Not everyone. Not because you are somehow less in any department, but because you receive in a different way. I'm saying perhaps some of us receive and relate in a different way. You see? Some of us are more emotional by nature, literally more emotional. Others more physical, so that it's through tactile, like literally the driving force is a sense of touch. Like in order for experiencing something, unless that tactile aspect is there, it's lacking. Some of us are very, very cerebral, very cerebral. Everything is in this very, very cerebral realms of mind and intellect. You see? So first, I don't want you to somehow see this as a form of like something wrong with you there. I even want to add you something in terms of my personal experience. It was a prolonged phase when I started watching all live transmissions that were organized by TM movement back in the 90s, when Maharishi Mahesh Yogi would be on air, as it were. And eventually it was almost reduced to 2 yearly broadcasts on his own birthday, January 12th, and on Guru Purnima, where definitely there will be this, in this. And of course, I watched a lot of tapes, And I find myself, when I was listening Maharishi, I could not concentrate on what he was saying. And it was at some point, first, it caused me a bit of a distress and disappointment. I cannot follow what was expounded because something else was drawing me much stronger, you see? So I was like, I was already in half transcendence when I hear his voice. So I cannot follow what was the nature of discourse. So when discourse is finished, I feel I'm tingling in every place. But you ask me what was it about? Sorry, you know. I have to admit that was the case. Not just once, twice, for a number of years. So let's not jump into conclusions that this something is that is wrong there. You could be in a phase in the process where it's not exactly what is required for your unfoldment. So that's first what I wanted to relate to you in response. And also, what was it that you were saying at the end? Can you just remind me, please?
I'm not sure anymore.
Yes, it makes the two of us.
Yeah. It feels like sometimes there's really like this fog coming in and a lot of tension. And it's also like when I try to read a normal book sometimes or do my normal work.
Okay. So in other words, didn't you also say inability to focus?
Yeah.
Right?
And that's always like sometimes my mind is really sharp and I can, but it takes sometimes someone else who's focused or I don't know, sometimes my mind is in a different state.
Okay, so again, there is something that can be applied here to improve that capacity for focal awareness that meant to be funneled towards something specific, whilst also giving allowance for the fact that we don't always function in the same way throughout the day. So this is also needs to be clarity. When it is the best time to study, when it is the best time to give to learning something, and when is the best time to simply for recreation, for downtime, for physical activity. Because there are times when there is digestive processes. There is a siesta, right? There's time when naturally we are in that domain, particularly the hour of the vata. So it's very hard to focus. It's best to relax, rest, and do something which is perhaps not necessarily requires a lot of mental activity. Some people are really function greatly in the morning more, and it's natural. See? Others claim that they have greater capacity to focus in the evening. I tend to agree with maybe adjustment that it's not so much in the evening, but deeper into the night when everyone is asleep. Or let's say a lot of like settled down, like the city, the town, that it's quieter. Vibrations are different. But then again, we are in the hour of the tamaguna, which is that late night. So not everyone can study at that time either. But it's the time for metabolizing the experiences rather than getting new experiences. So that rag, there's a different rag in the morning, different in the late morning, throughout the day, different in the evening, different at night. So these rhythms, this cadence is there. Also relates to when we are at our sharpest when it comes to grasping something, understanding. So just notice that. Okay? And in terms of the something to apply here, right, is with this diving for creativity into the heart, or retrieving, sinking, is understood, hopefully, in lieu of what we spoke about. But when it comes now to bringing something into very clear, let's say, where we want to funnel our energy, I would suggest you place your awareness, just as we did at some point in meditation, when I invite you to bring your awareness either at the heart or somewhere between the eyebrow center, from inside the skull. Somewhere in the sagittal, let's say, region, it will be almost in the middle of the skull, but slightly closer to the way it is towards the prefrontal lobes here, but from the inside. Are you with me? Have you heard the term Shambhavi Mudra? No, because this is a Shambhavi Mudra. It's placing one's awareness, but it's not that I'm asking you to practice Shambhavi Mudra, although in some of our immersions we talked about it, practiced it, and we bring it. From time to time we introduce that. So it's not that you need to practice Shambhavi Mudra when you need to concentrate, but some of the aspects of that would definitely be beneficial. Shambhavi Mudra consists of holding one's awareness, one's attention, inside that spot, and coinciding that with the object of our attention in any given moment in time, in a as straight and direct line as possible. So this is the kind of equilibrated point of contact between subject and object in terms of attention. You see? So if I'm looking, for example, at you now, right? I'm looking at you, I'm seeing you there, but I'm holding my awareness simultaneously in that point inside my skull. If I'll turn the angle of my attention now anywhere, it will be the same, or it should be the same, anywhere. So there is a way to practice it, deliberate way. Shambhavi Mudra is practiced and has these benefits, but it also has therapeutic application here. So when we place our awareness or attention, it's the same thing in this case, when we place our attention in that particular spot, inside, and as if looking from that spot into anywhere where our attention is required in a given moment in time, it creates tremendous amount of funneled energy. You see? It is also useful when there are a lot of outside distractions, when you need to really funnel your awareness, when you need to bring this to a focal point. There is a lot of outer distractions. And notice when you do that, you become as if you're summoning up all your energy, and it is then spontaneously, naturally flows towards the object of your interest, desire, whatever is required to be accomplished. Which obviously here, only with regard, which requires that focal awareness, focal point of awareness. Because awareness can also be practiced in the opposite of the Shambhavi Mudra, dispersed awareness, deliberately not focusing your attention on anywhere. That's another practice. Forgoing any focal point of attention. It is for granted when we are, let's say, in the vastness of a landscape, in the mountains, in the ocean, so, like anywhere where this vastness of nature makes it a second nature. It makes it immediate. You see? So try that and see it works. Thank you.